We're tracking thunderstorms in Texas again today, and guess what? A cold front with potential heavy rain chances heading into early next week for parts of the state. Let's talk about it in this Thursday edition of the Texas Weather Roundup. Hi there, I'm Texas Storm Chasers Boldy-in-Chief David Reimer. It's Thursday, the 21st of August, 2025. Thanks for taking time out of your day to pop on in here for some Texas weather updates. We're going to go ahead and get right into it. This is the radar loop over the last couple of hours. We've got one cluster of storms moving across parts of East Texas. That has decreased in intensity a bit after bringing some heavy rain to Tyler and Longview over the last hour or two, but we're going to definitely see more storms out here in East Texas, the Brazos Valley, Southeast Texas this afternoon. Second cluster of storms we have is extending across the Edwards Plateau towards areas just west of San Antonio. This is moving south, crossing over Highway 90 right now from, really Del Rio to Uvalde to Hondo. This activity could have some dangerous cloud-to-ground lightning, locally heavy rain, and gusty winds. At this point, still some moderate rain back on I-10 from near Junction to Kerrville. Heading into this afternoon and evening, well, let's take a look at the high-res rapid refresh model. And guess what? We're going to probably see a bunch of storms this afternoon. South Texas, down into the coastal plains, the coastal bend, southeast Texas. You can see this thing fires up a whole lot of stormies going through the afternoon. So Corpus Christi, San Antonio, Houston, Orange, guess what? You're probably going to have storms in the area this afternoon, unfortunately, for those of you with aviation interest for like the umpteenth day this summer. Locally heavy rain could result in some street flooding. We'll have to keep an eye out for that. Quick couple inches of rain certainly can't be ruled out if you get a heavier storm sitting on top of you. Dangerous cloud-to-ground lightning? Oh, you betcha. When thunder roars, get your keister indoors. Northwestern half of the state, far lower number of thunderstorms today. We could see a few pop-ups north Texas through the big country, into the hill country, the Concho Valley this afternoon. But, again, looking far less active today, which is good because it's not going to be that way early next week. All right, we're going to reset this loopy here. There we go. You can see this model actually does keep storms trying to go into East Texas, Southeast Texas overnight. We'll see. It could happen. But otherwise, another round of pop-up storms tomorrow afternoon across the southeastern half of the state. Northwestern half of the state looking fairly dry, at least in terms of widespread rain chances. A couple showers and pop-ups, the Concho Valley, the big country, North Texas, Texoma, with scattered storms near the coast, as is typical for this time of year. Fire weather outlook for the next several days from the Texas A&M Forest Service. Generally moderate fire danger across the state. A little smidgen of high there on Saturday out in the northern Big Bend, the Trans-Pecos. Otherwise, doing a heck of a lot better than the last few years. Tropical outlook. Here we go. It's kind of busy. Erin beginning to move away from the eastern seaboard after bringing significant coastal flooding, a heck of a lot of beach erosion, dangerous rip currents. Those hazards will continue for the next few days. Next system after that, east of the Lesser Antilles, that could be an issue for Bermuda. That could become a next tropical system. That's going to be moving north and northeast, taking a track east of Erin. Then a couple short-lived systems out in the Atlantic. There is nothing in terms of tropical mischief we have to worry about here near home in the Gulf or Texas over the next 7 days at least, if not 2 weeks. Hopefully 2 weeks. All right, let's take a look at the upper air pattern over the next week. This is from the European weather model. Looking at 500 millibars, about halfway up the atmosphere, jet stream level. We're taking a look at the heights. This is an easy way for us to see, one, where the heat dome's set up, and two, as we begin transitioning into a fall-like pattern from the northeastern United States this week and early next week, you could see heat dome, southwestern United States, breaks down a bit going into early next week before reestablishing itself across, New Mexico, far west Texas, heading into late next week. But what about all those pretty blue and green colors we see in the northeast? Well, that is a upper-level trough. That's going to kick a cold front down across the eastern half of the United States, and it looks like that front's probably going to make it towards Panhandle, West Texas, Northwest Texas, and Oklahoma before stalling out around Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, which could bring a focal point for heavy rain chances. And we're going to talk more about that shortly. But some less hot weather for sure, and that's going to also allow temperatures to trend down a few degrees across the entire state of Texas over the next few days. So we'll have more 90s versus a bunch of triple digits. All right, here we go with the European weather model. And you can see continued showered storm chances near the coast, southeastern third of the state, Saturday afternoon and evening, heading into Sunday. Still, same thing goes, Rio Grande Valley, South Texas, Coastal Bend, Coastal Plains, Edwards Plateau. Then as we get into Sunday night into Monday, you can see we start to see precipitation increase in the Panhandle, New Mexico, Colorado, Kansas, Oklahoma. And with that, you could see we could see multiple rounds of precipitation. That could result in a few inches of rain, maybe 1 to 3 inches of rain, locally higher amounts perhaps, up in the Panhandle. And we'll have to keep an eye out going into Tuesday evening and Wednesday as well. We could see some storms across the western third of Texas with locally heavy rain, gusty winds, and maybe some hail. But definitely going to be ending the month on an active note. Overall, it has definitely been an active summer, not one of our summer of HE double hockey sticks that we typically have dealt with over the last few years, at least in terms of heat. It was that way in terms of other things, unfortunately. Here is the longer range outlook from the Climate Prediction Center. Again, you can see below average temperatures for the final week of August across the plains, the Midwest, the Great Lakes, the Tennessee Valley, the Mid-South, the Northeast, the Eastern United States, and the northern third of the state of Texas. With that heat dome still holding tough, though, southern and southwestern third of Texas. Precipitation outlook, you can see pretty good chance we are going to be wet heading into next week, at least the first half of next week across the northern half of the state. So, yeah, looks like we're going to have stuff to talk about. Definitely not a typical summertime pattern, but not much has been typical this summer in terms of what we've been dealing with a lot. So, sorry, aviation interest. I know it has not been a fun summer for y'all, and it's not going to get any better going into next week, unfortunately. As someone who himself has been flying a lot, yeah, not fun. Yeah, I've spent more time in airports for delays than I care to admit, including a night on the floor. That was fun. All right, that's it for your Thursday edition of the Texas Weather Roundup. We'll be keeping a close eye on the storms this afternoon with updates on the social media platforms we participate on. Of course, we'll have updates here on the YouTube. Check out the community section for updates as well, our members-only Discord server. And, of course, if we need to, we'll have additional video updates as well. As always, you can get your local weather forecast, interactive weather radar, daily Texas weather roundups, and more in the free Texas Storm Chasers mobile app. Just search for Texas Storm Chasers where you download apps to your device. And, of course, radar on our website, texasstormchasers.com/radar. You'll have a good day. Thanks for popping on in. God bless.